still smiling his iPad.
What is going on, everyone? I am Fire, your true desire, McCrackerjack. I will be one of your hosts today, and we have an incredible show for you today, folks. It's going to blow your mind when we talk about these two gentlemen, and I use the soft G out of respect. Okay, gentlemen. So, believe it or not, there's a little scene in there where I am chasing TV Shane Pittman on a little motorized scooter. It just so happens that the two men that are going to be on our show, one is already logged in with us, his name is Matt, and the other one, Mike Angus, they both were there for that incredible encounter. So we'll talk a little bit about that. MaryLynn Bast.
Yes.
Hook your brother up.
So we actually have Matt with us, and we are waiting for Mike with Southern Heat Paranormal. As soon as we can get him on, he'll join us. And then
he's an old man, so it could take him. He may never get on.
It may take him a few minutes. So we're going to turn it over. Go ahead.
He's saying he's in the room, but he can't see anybody.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, he's there. I got him.
Yeah. There he is.
There we go.
Look at that sexy stash. We can't hear you. You're a weirdo. But that's okay. While he tries to fix his volume.
So we will get Phil to go ahead and introduce our guest.
Let's do
All
it.
right. SHP Incorporated was created with the intent to provide support, education, and help those in need. They are headquartered out of Central Georgia. SHP is a team of paranormal investigators seeking to document scientific proof of the paranormal through research, investigations, and documented scientific occurrences. This team will try to disprove paranormal claims and sift through the remaining data to find, document, and create analytical data trends to help other paranormal enthusiasts.
Boom! And we lost him again.
So what
Fantastic.
they don't say on his bio is that both of them are firefighters.
Yes. And Steven Hernandez, welcome for being the first. Krista, hello. Michelle, hello. James, what's up, everybody? So, Matt, Mike, Matt. We still cannot hear Mike at all.
Can't hear you yet now.
We'll let him. He's gonna figure it out. He'll figure it out.
Unplug your
We can
mic.
see you now, buddy.
So
Unplug your
talk
mic.
and I'll see if I can
Unplug your mic.
I'll see if I can read your lips. No.
Mark Brown says he enjoyed investigating the jail. So you guys also, there's a jail near you, and I think.
Blakely County Jail.
That's it. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that bad boy?
Well, we've been running it for, I don't know, about a year and a half, 2 years now. So 1915.
Fucking great.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, dude. Like, so the history on the jail, we can't find anything on it. Like, that's the hard part. There's no files or anything. We don't know who built it or anything except for when it was built. No, I can only document one death there, and that's by word of mouth.
Wow. When was it built?
1915.
Okay. Wow.
It was in operations till 2006. So I guess what's that? 100 plus years.
That's almost as
years.
It's almost as old as Mike Angus.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get my shade.
There he is. He got the
shades on. Nope, we can't hear you yet.
Don't do that.
Cooler than the Terminator.
All right, so I can go off and I can call you on the phone and walk you through to get you. So if you guys want to continue talking, I'm going to go off camera.
Yeah. So that's cool. So let's talk more about the county jail. Where is it?
It's in Cochran, Georgia, which is Blakely County. It's
Cochran, Georgia. Very nice.
Cochran. Yep. It is actually Cochran.
Okay, my bad.
middle of Georgia, like right in the dead middle. It's got tons of history in that town. Like Henry DeSoto actually came through there back in the 1500s and stopped and came up there and talked to all the indigenous tribes, Indian tribes, whatever you want to call them.
What was he like? Hey, what up, fools?
Well, you know, he was looking for gold, really, is what he was doing, was looking for gold. So
Okay.
it started in Florida, and the guys from Florida was like, we don't have any gold. We got it from the guys up north. So they came up through the Altamont River, which runs into the Atlantic Ocean. So they came up to the old Mulgee, and they talked to the Indians there, and they're like, blah, blah, we got the gold from up north. So they just made their way on up.
Just kept on going. Yeah, Connie asked if Mike already got in trouble. He did, but actually he is having some mic issues. Mike is having mic issues. James says it was really hot there. He sweated off 20 pounds. Swamp ass for sure. Says black smoke. Yeah, that's what he said. He says it was like an oven with no AC. And it's true.
Yeah.
Like I'm from Vegas. Vegas, you bake like a cookie. Down in Georgia, you boil like a hot dog.
The humidity, 100% humidity.
I can't do the humidititties. I can't do it.
That's why I got this bra on.
So when did you guys take over the jail?
It's been about 2 years, I think.
Oh shit! Okay, so that's pretty recent.
Yeah, I mean, we've had probably 60 groups come through so far.
Very cool.
Every one of them's had like great experiences that they tell us, at least. I mean, I don't know if any of them have said, yes, a shitty place, but you know, to our face, they all tell us they love it. We've had some pretty wild experiences there. It's hit or miss some days. You know, it's any haunted location. You know, you can't tell them to perform tricks for people. So
yeah, which is, I mean, it would be great. You know what I mean? If they would.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we could make it like a job, pay them hourly. You know?
Yeah, give them some ghost money.
Yeah, there you go.
Some ghost titties or something. You know? I mean,
yeah. Some ghost dances for some ghost boners. You know?
Hey, one of them was the guy that killed himself was a rapist, so you know he might like some ghost boners.
He would. He would. So now that you've taken over, like, do you have like an end goal, an end result for the jail itself? Like, what are you guys trying to do, or get it out there, or?
Really, we're just getting it out there. I mean, it's
James says he had fun for sure.
We charge $200 a night. You know, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and we give you a little brief tour and we let you do whatever you want to. You know, we're fairly open to let people do whatever they want. Because a lot of places, I've been to places, I'm sure y'all been to places where you got to sign a waiver where if you say demon, you can't do it or whatever. You know, I don't care what you do. I mean,
I've heard restrictions on Ouija boards, but that's about it.
Well, I have a Ouija board collection. So I have a whole room that's full of mirrors and Ouija boards. And we call it our portal room. And people love it. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something different. That's what we're trying to do is give people a place to experiment. Is what it's for. And people that can't afford to go to $600,000, $700,000 places, you know, $200 a night, you can't get there. Can't get that anywhere. So,
how big is the facility?
The main house part, or the actual original jail, is probably 300 3,000 square feet. Then in the 70s, they tore off the back half and built on like elongated cells, which that's probably another 2,000 feet.
Dang. So yeah, good 5G. You're 5G over there.
Yeah, it's 5G.
Damn. Yeah, Mike is he's definitely having issues. Turns out at first we couldn't even see the guy, and now we can't hear the guy.
Okay, so we are having him restart his phone, and then he's going to try to come back in, and so I'll go off in just a second to see if I can help him get in.
Okay. So have you ever been to that jail, MaryLynn?
Which one?
What's it called? Blakely?
Oh, Blakely.
Not yet.
Blakely.
No, not yet. So
y'all need to calm down.
Definitely.
Yeah, because Mike had invited us as well, so we're just waiting for the opportunity to get there.
Yeah, he told me the glory holes there are fantastic.
They are. They're
So
pretty
that's-
nice.
Yeah, that's
We
kind of
keep
a
it
jam.
nice there.
Yeah, old people in technology. It's so true. Well, while we wait for him, we might as well do our spirits for the spirits.
You know what? I didn't bring mine.
I've got my little outhouse that I drink from. Today, I've pulled out my Buchanan's.
Josh,
The pineapple.
Josh says he's 45 minutes from there. Have you been there, Josh?
Purvis. He's got to have been.
I think
Yeah.
he probably has been.
All right,
He
this is
went
the
there
one
to
that
take
like.
some pictures.
And I did not bring my alcohol. Matt, did you get any?
I got a twisted tea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that'll work.
Let me go grab mine really quick. Be right back.
All right, cool. This one takes a while to pour anyway.
Josh said, yep, cool place.
So, Josh, now that Josh is in, for those that don't know, Josh Purvis and TV's Shane Pittman have released a special on Scare Network called the Ura Shrine, and he had a live stream yesterday. I got to see that, be a part of it. It was very cool to learn some about what they've been working on out there, and I think Mike was a part of that, which is very cool. And Josh and Matt and Mike, who's not with us, but they joined us in Baton Rouge. So
Can you hear me now?
yes, unfortunately.
Welcome.
Where's
God.
Where's
When
Phil
oil
at?
spills, just turn it off and turn it back on. That's right.
I'll get a drink.
All right, we're gonna let him get a drink. So,
Phil McCracken.
Mike, tell us a little bit about.
Can you see me?
Yeah. What persuaded you to purchase the jail?
Oh, we don't own it. We rent it from a fella in town that owns half the town.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so where that all started, the fire station where Matt works at full time and I work very casual at is right beside basically the jail.
Oh, okay.
So we would go there and train. Matt would train there more than me, and they would have interactions or experiences, different people. And then that's before Jeff, the guy that owns it now, owned it. So then the city wanted rid of it, so they auctioned it off. The guy that owns it now bought it, re-roofed it, painted it, did all the stuff to it. And then Matt got the idea about, instead of it just sitting there empty, let's approach him and ask him if we could open it up to the public. And
Yeah.
so it's been over a year. We opened it up last April.
That's
So
freaking
are
awesome,
they
dude.
registered as a nonprofit?
Yeah, I didn't really get that far yet. So if the IRS is listening, I deny. Matthew Hancock.
Spooky entertainment.
So,
You can't say that.
you both had the joy of getting to join us in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
So what did you, and Mike, you've worked with me now a bunch.
Yeah, since
so-
January.
Yeah. So what are your takeaways on maybe the show that we're creating?
It's going to be unique and obviously different in the aspect of the norm for the paranormal, I guess. I don't want to give too much away,
Yeah,
I'm not sure what's obviously, but I think people are going to really like it. I think it's something different than the same old, let's go to this house that's 200 years old and there's a little boy here that drowned in a well and we're going to make communication with him. This, I think makes light of the whole situation, but I think it's serious but funny too. And it reaches out to a different audience instead of the same old stuff.
That's true. And yes, spooning has been involved, though Mike is mostly exclusively spooned with TV Shane Pittman, and I spooned with Mr. Purvis himself.
Yeah, that's a big boy to spoon with.
It was. It was pleasant. He kept me warm. So in the cold Michigan nights, it was so cold in Michigan when we filmed up there.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was rough. So let me ask you this now. You've been with Spooky Entertainment. You've been doing a lot of filming.
Right.
How do you feel like that has affected the way that you've approached investigations now that you're you're a cinematographer, you're a film technician?
That's a strong word to use. Amateur at best.
Amateur at best.
Yeah.
Do you think like it's affected the way that you've looked at doing paranormal?
I don't think it's affected the way I investigate, I guess,
No?
per se. No, I mean,
I would say yes.
I think it makes it harder to investigate sometimes because I try to separate it. Like when I'm in that mode, I'm not really investigating. So sometimes maybe I miss stuff. But then when I'm in the other mode, when I'm investigating, my dog's going crazy. It's hard sometimes, I guess, to balance the two and try to do it all. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm not being clear enough.
Well, I get it. It's because Matt doesn't help you.
No, I frustrate Matt.
Yeah,
So
he
Matt,
pisses me off.
It does make a difference.
I'm like, let's go investigate. And he's like, hold on, I got to get this shot. I'm like, fuck this B-roll. Let's go investigate.
I get it. Sometimes you just want to investigate 100%.
I just saw your wife's ass walk across.
Yeah, she's there somewhere.
That's right. We saw spirits for spirits. All right. Woo! To cinematographers.
Yeah. Ish. Whoa. MaryLynn.
Joshua Purvis says, being behind the camera is really hard sometimes. I wish there were more times at these locations to spend like another day investigating it. And that's true.
Yes.
I would say, especially with my, the way with our show, with Pair with the Normal, the hardest thing, especially I think for MaryLynn, is we really don't spend a lot of time because it's not really what our show is about, right? Whereas like something that you do through Spooky, Southern Heat, you guys you're there for legit paranormal investigation, but even still, there's all of this camera work. There's all the beef. Like people don't understand how long it takes just for the B-roll.
Yeah,
it's usually just me and Matt.
And your back hurts by the time you're done. You're like, man, I don't even want to investigate anymore.
By midnight, you're
people who
exhausted.
don't even know what B-roll means.
Yeah,
like tell them what B-roll is.
Similar to A-roll, but a little bit further in the alphabet.
I used to get F-roll, but
yeah. Why don't you tell Mike? Tell him what B-roll is.
Yeah, B-roll is the stuff you see like sometimes between shots or leading into shots. A lot of it is like not the main filming or not the main episode or the main part of the episode. It's
like when they cut away from like
cut
the
away
person
to like a
talking.
transition or something like that, or in the beginning where they're like walking through the woods. Like when we went to Alabama, I was getting B-roll walking through the woods, just filming stuff, just some filler, maybe for a transition from this to that, or if you're doing an interview with somebody and talking about the house or the structure or whatever, you may cut to that and show like maybe a drone view of the building or house, or a slider view of like a stairwell or a hallway and that kind of stuff. So
have you ever caught any type of activity while doing B-roll?
That's a good question.
Right?
Yeah.
You're fucking welcome.
Yeah. I didn't mean to put you on the spot or anything, but no. I don't know. I'd have to really look. I don't think off the top of my head if we ever.
Mike can not eat while we're doing the interview.
Never fails.
Yeah. Not that I know of. I don't know. I can't remember a time that we actually did.
So have you or Matt, during one of the investigations that you've been filming, have you caught something?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely disembodied voices. We've caught stuff over obviously devices and that kind of thing. Sure. Shadow figure. We were in Crescent at the sanatorium, caught a white mist.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like.
Are you sure that wasn't Matt's vape?
I don't vape while we're investigating.
It was a static cam. Actually,
wow.
We weren't even around it. It was whatever it was. Like, come up to the camera, was hung around for a second, then just sort of faded away. So.
Yep.
I was actually getting some B-roll, and I was getting pictures. And in the I've been drinking. Nurse quarters, I actually got a picture of a silhouette standing up in the window.
Oh wow!
So,
was she naked?
I don't know. My Zoom wasn't that good.
So okay, I've got to bring this up because I had this apostrophe while I was sleeping.
Oh God!
You never.
I agree.
Do ghosts? I legitimately want to know: do ghosts have teeth? You never see teeth, right?
I mean, they don't have really.
The black hole.
Right, but like, I mean, like, they've got arms, right? They've got noses, they've got faces, but you never see one like.
Yeah, like
in a photo.
Have falsies. I don't think.
I'm curious. It's a weird thing.
They're never smiling.
No. Yeah, because they're mad because they're trapped.
Connecting Soul says they've seen bite marks.
Yep.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That is true. And yep.
Interesting. They are scratches. They wouldn't have really nails.
It's true. But yeah, they couldn't. But I mean, like, you could see like somebody's hand, right? And you can see like the outline of the nails, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I've never seen a picture or a photo or a video of like a ghost and like their teeth.
Could you know what's crazy is if you think of that, think it's something that you can't see or normally can't hear, but has enough energy to scratch or bite you. And you know what I mean? Like, isn't that crazy, that type of power?
Yeah.
You know, we spend all this time thinking about what's afterlife, or what's the death looks like on the other side, or what we're going to be on the other side. We don't really care too much about the future, think about where we're at now. But yeah, I mean, the energy and the power that something has to exert a bite, that
what it would take.
We can't.
Trina says I've gotten, or burn marks.
Yeah.
Trina says I've gotten bit before. She still owes me $5 for that, by the way. No, that's okay. But yeah, didn't that just happen to you, MaryLynn?
It did, and I sent you pictures of it. It was like right here, and it ended up being. I still have just a small mark, and it's about to go away. But it was just weird. It just all of a sudden popped up, and then even your wife ended up getting something at the very same time.
Yeah.
I'm in Texas, and she's in Vegas. So it's like, what are you guys doing over there?
The same day.
Is it a hickey or a bite?
No, it was literally 2 marks that was about this long that looked like it was burned.
Yeah.
So vampire.
Yeah, or Phil.
Yeah. Josh says the Yorktown Hospital is really tough to film B-roll in. There was so much activity happening around us. That's true.
Yes.
When we first got there to film, so that's one of our episodes, is the Yorktown Hospital. And when we first got there to film, it sounded like, I mean, it was just, you could hear things stomping, being thrown, yelling. It was like, it took probably like an hour before it really like calmed down.
Settled down, yeah.
And then of course we started filming.
And I know we caught stuff on some of the camera mics
Yes.
Because we played it back and you could hear EVPs on the camera mics. Is that your neck?
Yep.
You don't got the right picture up, MaryLynn. Put it down.
Yep.
That looks like a hickey to me.
But that is not a hickey. I'll see if I can pull it up.
So, have you guys, either one of you, had any type of, I guess, poltergeist-like activity where you've been scratched or burned or clawed or
touched,
poked in the butt?
grabbed.
Well, this one time me and Mike were sharing this room and we ended up in the same bed. I got poked in the butt that night.
He swore it wasn't him, right?
It was poltergeist
it
activity.
It was the ghost of Elvis.
Yeah. No, touched, more than anything,
Okay.
Never scratched or bitten.
I get more emotionally, like
Affected.
more emotion attached or whatever, attacked. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, this is the first time I've had this, so let me see if I can share it. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, and you have like a whole different connection.
I do, yes.
Pokergeist, yes. Exactly.
Guys.
And James says he's been scratched at Hamilton jail. I don't know where that is.
Old Florida, yeah.
Florida? Okay.
Uh-oh. What are we going to watch? I'm afraid to ask or see.
Trina's over here, scratched, slapped, pinched, hair pulled. She's talking about her OnlyFans. Hey, Annie.
So
Look
that's
at
what it is. See, it looks like it's a burn.
Yeah. Or it was like a hand, like two hands, what I mean? Like
two
smack.
fingers.
And it was just all of a sudden it popped up, it started burning, and I didn't know what it was. And is it okay if I show Krista's?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Where was this at? I mean, can you give a backstory to it? Oh, this was just home.
Yeah, I was sitting here, and that's where I know that Mike and Phil had gone to the cemetery the night before. And
We had,
in
actually.
the process of doing TikTok, doing the videos on it. So I said, what are you guys doing? Did y'all try to antagonize or something?
Mm-mm.
And then this is his wife, Krista. She had the same thing at the, this is what she had at the
It
same
looks like a choke.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks like someone trying to choke her, right?
Yeah. So it was just really odd that it happened at the same time.
She didn't fall down the
What
stairs.
up, Charity?
did she? Mike.
No stairs in their house.
And he's your time to go.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What up, Brandon? So yeah, that was pretty wild. Where are you guys filming next? Or where are you guys going to investigate next, I guess?
We've sort of been on a hiatus this year. We hit it so hard for the first couple of years, man. We were all over the place. And we got the jail up and running. And me and Matt just sort of sat down at the beginning of the year. And we're like, I think we're just going to focus on that and work on some other projects. We were starting to film in a place where my work. And we just we started some interviews and some B-roll. Then we both ran out of time and other stuff come up. And so hopefully here in the fall or maybe, late fall, get back into something.
Yeah, man. Well, I think we're going to see you are you coming to Gettysburg, right?
Yeah. I was just going to say July for sure. I'll be in Gettysburg. I think Matt's going to try to come.
Nice.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You could flick my nipples.
That would be nice.
He asked last time, but it was the first time I met him. I wasn't comfortable yet, but
What's your favorite thing to investigate? Do you guys like doing houses? Do you guys, businesses, jails?
For like a 1 million square foot buildings.
Oh, Jesus. It's so tiring.
And it's just
We're
the
not
two
really
of you,
picky.
right?
I mean, do what?
So it's just the two of you when you're investigating. It's just you two.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot of work with two people.
Yeah.
We're not really picky though. I mean, I like insane asylums because I'm crazy, so I feel like I fit in there. And I mean, I don't know.
what up, C.L. Thomas?
So have you been to Trans-Allegheny yet?
No.
No.
Awesome place.
Is it?
Yes.
It's tough for us with our budgeting. It's our budget's me and Matt. So, so it makes it tough.
The jail don't fit out much.
Yeah.
Our budget is Mike.
True.
So, I mean, these places are super expensive to go do,
They
you know,
are, yes.
and to put together
Honestly,
something, you know, go
the
to
one we went to in Baton Rouge is still one of my favorites.
Yes.
the hospital.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I
I
wish we
really
had
like that.
That was
another.
a one of a time, one of a kind location, and just it fell into our lap.
Hey, Sarah. Yeah, and it's never been investigated before.
Right.
We're the first
And-
people to actually be able to go in there.
Yep.
And you, not to talk shop, but some of the footage that we were trying to gather, my stuff and some of Josh's stuff, the files were corrupted.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
that's wild.
Yeah. Isn't
There
that
was-
crazy?
We
Yeah,
had a lot of stuff that happened, so I'm hoping you caught at least the lights.
that's wild. Yeah, because there was a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, we had issues with the lights coming on and off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then
These
when
are
I was
lights
flying
that
my
stayed
drone,
on.
Yep, I got lost. It was pretty wild.
Your drone. What happened with your drone?
yeah, I had some troubles with my drone there, and I actually got lost for about 45 minutes to an hour. I had no clue where y'all were at.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you
Yeah.
were walking out through like some other door, and they're like, "Where the hell did you come from?"
To the police station.
Yeah, the
Yeah, out of the police station. Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
was
it was
in the police
actually a
station.
working police station. That's
Yeah.
wild.
So Josh is saying that he had to actually send them off to get them recovered.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, and I know
Bossy.
the full spectrum that we did with you guys. That file was completely corrupt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, because when we went to Chambersburg, PA, for an event, I brought stuff with me to give to Josh. And he's like, "Man, it won't open. It won't do nothing." Like he couldn't find it at all.
Wow.
So, and that's
That's the one
happened.
that's the one that has my bare bottom on it. That's unfortunate.
And that's happened to me and Matt too.
12 years says it's never happened.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild, huh?
It was insane. Yeah.
But
That's pretty wild. So, out of all the places that you've, because now at this point, especially when you traveling with the searchers,
Yeah.
Mike and Matt too, what's your favorite locale that you've gone to that you're like, I can't wait to go back?
I'd really like to go back to Pennsylvania to what's that place called?
Crescent Sanatorium.
Crescent.
What happened there is we went up. It was a real quick backstory, and I mean, Matt, you can jump in any time. It was a tuberculosis center built off in the woods. You know, nice fresh air for the people that TB. Exactly. So they were up there and cutting people's lungs out. But anywho,
Wow.
after that, it was converted to a mental facility, and then the state took it over and made it a prison. So the structures itself are super old, and they did add some new buildings to it, but they got to the point where they couldn't maintain it. They were having trouble with mold and that kind of stuff, so it's just easier to build a super prison, combine a couple, and then close this off and sell it. So they ended up selling it, and a group bought it, and then, not to get into all that because that's another whole different story, it ended up closing and another group bought it. But me and Matt went up there and filmed an episode up to 2-3 days. It's like 15, 17 buildings. And basically, like they
That's a
just
big
locked,
facility.
oh yeah, they just locked you in the gate and said, "Okay, just call when you're done."
Have
Damn.
it. Wow.
No power. And that place
None,
was just-
zero.
No zero. We got like time slipping. We just got stuck in an area for 3 hours.
Oh,
And
wow.
tell them your story, Matt. What happened with you and me? And
Well, we was time slipping in one of the jail areas. We were just standing there, and I looked at Mike, and I was like, I want to stab this motherfucker. So I pulled out my knife, and I was like, oh, God, I want to stab you. Instead, I threw my knife down the hallway.
Wow.
And we were there in that one area probably 3 hours.
we couldn't get out of it.
Couldn't get, just stuck in that one area. And we were
Wow.
having stuff in the side rooms talking to us and noises going off everywhere. I mean, it was
Like they were holding you there.
Yeah. Like, yeah, there was just so much activity.
couldn't get out of there. I mean, we stayed in that one area for so long, we wasted most of our investigation there. And dealing with crackheads.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I've heard a
another
lot of
story.
people talking about, missing time and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
far, I haven't experienced that. So I'm
And
just curious.
me and Matt sort of have a theory on that. His is a little different than mine, but I think it's plays the same way. Just like, time is man-made.
Right.
There's no time on the other side. So I think a lot of that time, I feel when that happens to us, it's them showing us or letting us experience what they experience. Does that make
Fentanyl.
sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then I think Matt's theory is a little different, but the same. I mean, kind of ish. What were you saying the other night, Matt, with it? How do you feel?
Hell, I can't remember shit.
we,
Have another drink.
we go to our
I've been
jail
drinking
a lot.
all day.
We go to the jail a lot that we operate and take different equipment and do different stuff. And we talked about that. And I think that is their way of what they're experiencing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite piece of equipment?
I
Mine.
like Maryland. Just point Maryland around. I like ITC. I like that. I think we get away from that a lot with all these fancy gadgets. I think just we need to bridge that gap of communication, and that allows us to do that. I've really gotten into that lately, and I've had some new devices built for that, some different builds, not the same old spirit box or phone app, but yeah, I think doing that, besides the SLS and all those fancy stuff, I think just a simple ITC device that allows them to be heard and us to hear them, I think it goes a long way in my mind.
So you
For
go
the
ahead.
people who are listening, I know most everybody they know what ITC stands for, but if we have some new listeners, they don't know what all the acronyms are. So what does ITC stand for?
Instrumental transcommunication.
Okay.
So it's basically communication through an instrument or a device. A lot of times you'll see guys on TV have like a radio looking type thing, and it's sweeping so many frequencies a second, and then it creates like a white noise. And the thought is that spirits can use that to communicate through those frequencies that we can't normally hear.
Hey, Becky. Yeah.
If that makes sense. I mean, not to get into a lot of it. All this really started from was Thomas Edison.
Yep.
Not to get into a history lesson, but he invented the spirit phone. I mean, they never really found any blueprints for it, but he wanted to talk to his mother so bad. So he wanted to build a device to do that, to talk to the dead.
That's interesting. I've never heard that.
Yeah. So him and his mother were really close. She died. He was heartbroken. And that's another whole story. Yeah. He wanted to talk to the dead, but they never found any blueprints, blah, 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 because they're afraid they were going to, the scientists would laugh at him.
Right.
Well, then the Frank box, you ever heard of the Frank box?
I've not.
Yeah. It was a device that was built and used supposedly off the paperwork or the stuff that Edison had. Same thing, ITC, to communicate. I can't remember Frank's last name right now.
Sinatra.
Close. So he built a bunch of these Frank boxes, and he reached out to Chris Moon and gave Chris Moon one. Well, Chris really never used it till one time, and then after he started using it, it really took off. But yeah, so all this really started with Thomas Edison to a point, because he wanted to talk to his dead mother.
That's cool.
Yeah, so here we are with all these crazy devices trying to communicate to the other side. I mean, it works, And there's been other studies done too, where companies and stuff that deal with communications, we're getting a lot of chitter chatter across different frequencies. And you'll hear a lot of times, and I'll have to give credit to Chris Moon for this, you'll hear me say technician, and it's the belief of the people at the other side are called technicians, and they can speak for the people that can't speak, or that want to speak or are afraid to. If you look at any of our stuff on Southern Heat Paranormal on Voices of the Past on YouTube by Southern Heat Paranormal, I'll put some shorts up there of us doing some ITC work at the jail with some different devices. And I'll reach out to these technicians, and I mean, they'll answer you and talk.
So
And it
repeat
seems
your YouTube page.
it's Voices of the Past by Southern Heat Paranormal, or Voices of the Past by SHP. But please get on, look at the shorts, and you'll see some of the communication that we've done with different devices and how, just simple approach to the other side and how you approach it. I think we've got a lot of good responses out of it. But,
So here I have this is a pretty interesting. We just had somebody on our show that had died 35 times.
53 times.
What's that?
53.
in the backwards.
53. Oh, okay, yeah. He died a lot. Just basically, it was an hour drive from where he was to the hospital. They couldn't fight for life him because there was a bad winter storm, and he was just in and out every 10 seconds. And he says it was just kind of like, like when you stand up and you feel like the head pressure and you get dizzy. He says it felt kind of like that. It went all the way over and just went poop and done. And then you just would come right back. So he had basically a widowmaker, and then he had 2 more blood clots on top of it, is what it happened.
Actually, I worked a call like that.
Yeah, I know you did. Matt has.
So what's really interesting about that is, he had all these, and I guess he was talking during like part of his procedure. He was talking to the doctor. He could remember people that were there that he shouldn't have remembered. And, at one point, I think he even mentioned, "Hey, why'd you wake me up?
Mm-hmm.
I was dreaming." And the guy was like, "No, you were dead." And I remember, both of you have been obviously paramedics at some point, right? Or been to calls and responded to people that are under severe trauma. Have you witnessed or experienced anything like that before?
Go ahead, Matt. You have a good story on it.
So I had a call like that where it was out in the county, and EMS response was like 30 to 45 minutes. I get there. I walk up to the guy's house, knock on the door, walk inside. I was like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "I'm just feeling a little pressure on my chest." I was like, "Okay." I said, "Have you ever had any prior history or anything?" He said, "Yeah, I've had a heart attack before." I was like, "All right, well, sit down, chill out. Let me get your vitals." Took his vitals. His vitals were all basically normal for a 300-pound man. I mean, 140 over 90. I mean, that's a decent blood pressure for a guy that big. I was like, "Well, let's just chill out, and it's going to be a little while before EMS gets here." We started watching TV. They pulled up. I walked outside, and I said, "Hey, man, I've been here for like 30 minutes. He's doing pretty good. Just bring some stuff in, check his vitals, and we'll call it a day." So they walked in, got his vitals, and they're like, "Well, let's put you on a monitor." So we walked him outside. It was a trailer. So this guy was pretty big. And we walked him outside, and he coded right there. Boom.
Whoa!
Wow.
So I dropped my bags. I grabbed him. Luckily, they had offloaded the stretcher, so we threw him on the stretcher, put him back in the ambulance, started doing CPR, and he came back. So we put him in back of the ambulance, and we start heading to Macon, which is where our nearest trauma center is. And about 2 minutes into it, he coded again. And we started doing CPR. We shocked him, brought him back. We sat him up, and I said, "Hey, man, did you see anything?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You just died twice." He goes, "No, I feel great." I said, "You don't feel abnormal in any way?" He's like, "No." I said,
Whoa.
Cool. Then he coded again. Boom, coded right there. Laid him back, started doing CPR, brought him back, leaned him up. I said, "You see anything?" He goes, "Nope, I ain't see nothing." I said, "Well, stare out the back of this window because it might be the last thing you see because you done died technically 3 times."
Wow.
And from there to the hospital, he coded, I want to say 20-something times he coded. And pretty much like you said, he had a blood clot and a widowmaker. And as far as I know today, he's still alive. I've never went back
Wow.
and checked on him because I don't check on patients after I'm done with them.
Get out of here, patient.
Yeah, because that would mean.
Well, that's how I keep my mental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
If
take it
they're
home.
alive and I leave, I'm good.
Yeah.
You got
You
him
did
in
your
the
job.
hospital alive, right?
All right.
Right.
But I'm sure same thing with you, Mike. You've had, these instances where people have probably been like, "Hey, why are you messing with me?
Yeah.
I was in a good spot," and you're like, "No, you're not. You're dead, right?"
Right. Yeah, we had a guy in cardiac arrest. I mean, he was talking like me and you, and chest pain, same thing. He said, "Man, I don't feel good. My heart feels weird," and fell backwards. He was in V-fib. The medic shocked him and brought him back, and he was mad at the medic because he goes, "I was trying to tell you not to shock me because I knew it was going to hurt, but you couldn't hear me." Blah 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 blah. He was literally watching us.
Oh
He's like,
wow.
"I was screaming at the top of my lungs at you guys to not do nothing to me because I was fine," and he was out of it. Of course, this was shit. Early '90s, mid '90s. He didn't have cell phones and all that kind of stuff or any way to record anything. But yeah,
Right.
yeah, I've had some crazy stuff like that for sure. It's like he said, "I could see you guys and hear you, but you couldn't hear me." But he didn't say nothing else like, the light or angels or anything like that. So
What's really interesting to me about that is, so here you've got somebody that can die and then says, "Well, yeah, I was trying to actively communicate or talk, or I was aware."
right.
And then you've got, Matt, your guy, who was like, "Nothing. I got nothing." So I wonder, I would really like to see why is there such a
Right.
difference? Why is there such a large swing in what you perceive after death? Right?
And that's kind of, for me, I think that might be what is their belief system? So are they open to being able to see the spirits? Are they open to the paranormal, or are they so rigid that they're not going to see anything? So that would be, I think, good interview questions for people who have passed.
Yeah.
And came back.
I mean, I worked with a little girl that drowned, and she talked about the white light and the angels and all that stuff. But she was young. She was probably 8, 9 years old.
Wow.
So,
the guy that we interviewed was Steve Barry from Gettysburg. He mentioned seeing things that were just like wings and eyeballs.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which, if you look at the original biblical texts, that was what an angel was described as.
Just wings and eyeballs.
Yeah, and blades. Yeah, they're like very scary, awful-looking creatures, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not cuddly little teddy bears like we would think.
Well, like cherubs, is what they
Right.
call them,
But and that's the thing. Some people say, "Hey, I see. There's a bright light. There's a bright white light." And then there's other people that say,
Don't see nothing.
I didn't see anything. Or some that'll go, "Yeah, I was in a spot. I was talking to somebody who knew me, knew everything about me, was talking to me, and told me I needed to go do something else, and I walked away." But they didn't see a light. They didn't see this. There was no heavenly sounds. And they just walked away, and then boop, they're right back in their body.
Yep.
So there's so much. There's so much differentiating opinions, or I guess perceptions of death. Right? That is it. Could it be a religious thing? Could it be just a spiritual thing? Maybe not so much religion, but maybe how strong you are spiritually.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
or it could be, what are your thoughts? What are your beliefs? Or do you believe in that? So is it something that is like, I'm not going to address it, so I don't see anything? Or else it could be something they've seen it and they're just not going to say it.
Or could it be your body releasing endorphins and blocking things out, like pain and receptors and stuff like that?
Well, and that's kind of like where you get into the past life. Some people remember their past lives and most people don't. So it's kind of along those lines.
That's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of factors I think involved in it.
Yeah. See, Trina, she's got her own, she outlines with thousands of people standing on each side, mostly gray looking.
Yeah.
Michelle Coley used to tell her stories of a severe car accident where her head went through a windshield. She remembers looking down at the car but couldn't see my mom, so she came back to her body to make sure she was okay.
Interesting.
So, I mean, there's a lot of, and it does make me wonder, and it could even be, like, if you guys ever watched Dragon Ball Z, right? You know how they have most animes, they have like a power level, right? Whose power level's over 9,000. Like, could it be the same thing for us spiritually? You know, we're not all the same power level. Maybe some people are running on E. Maybe some people got a full battery, or maybe some people are just stronger.
Right.
I definitely think it depends on the spirituality. Also, the religious factor. If you're super into your religion and you pray every day, that's intention anyway, right? So,
Right.
I think depending on what level you are in either religious or spiritual, you're going to react differently.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Well, and that's where I had near-death experience. Whenever I was 18, I had a blood clot and was in the hospital, and I saw the bright light and was just kind of laying there. And it's like, I remembered I have a baby because I had just had a baby 2 weeks earlier, and I came back.
But is that survival mode? That's what I'm wondering. Is that when you hear people with car wrecks and things like that, I left my body and I saw my child or my wife down there. Is that you going, okay, well, I'm not dying right now. I'm going back.
It's not time.
It's not.
Like you fight it yourself, right?
Right. You're
I
fighting.
didn't feel like I was fighting or anything. I just acknowledged that I just had a baby, and then I was back. So there was no fighting on it. It just, I was back.
Yeah.
Well, there's got to be a little more to it. Even when I went to the police academy, they say if you get shot or you get, hit by a car, whatever the case may be, if you always have that positivity that you're going to get to go home, because if you don't have that positivity, you could
give up.
Yeah.
Right. You never give up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Trina says she was also in a car accident. She said she almost got to the light, and a voice said it was not her time, and she had to go. You have to go back, and then she was pushed backwards and remembers waking up inside the car.
Wow.
And yeah, so I mean that just shows that, to each can have a very unique experience, right? I think
really like fingerprints. Nobody's ever going to experience the same thing.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think a lot of it's your brain, honestly, on the medical side of it.
Well, and
I'm not religious. That's my background. I'm not religious, so it's hard for me to get behind a lot of that stuff.
You just have brain damage.
I've done a lot of drugs in my day, so yeah. But I mean, I've seen things on the paranormal side, and I've seen things on the medical side. And I've held people while they were saying, I'm dying. I'm like, no, man, we got you. And like a minute later, they're dead. Like, they know it. You can feel it. It's coming.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think a lot of it's mental. Like, what's passing through your brain right before that event happened.
When my dad went to the hospital, he looked at all of us. He said, "I think this is it, guys."
He knew.
He knew.
Yeah, he knew.
He knew.
That's where I think
Like
a lot
hospice.
of people, they do know. Mm-hmm.
I worked for hospice for several years, and
they give you a book. They give you a book with the steps on what's going to happen right before they die, and that shit is dead on. Like, they jump up, they go to the most comfortable place, then they start talking about their finances and making sure everything's in place and all this other stuff, and then the process goes down.
It's
that's
the absolute truth.
Uh-oh.
That is absolutely true. And in fact, my grandfather, when he died, he had got up, got dressed, he was blind when he passed, he was 85. Got up, got dressed, went into the living den area where the kitchen was, where the TV was, sat down in his chair, scooted it up next to the TV where he normally would, and then died.
Wow.
Yep, and nobody knew he was dead for hours because that was how he normally sits.
Yeah.
Doesn't say nothing. He would just sit there and listen.
That hospice book is amazing. Like it's step by step. They've seen so many people die. They got that shit down pat the way they
It's
died.
true. Yep, and same thing with Krista, our stepdad, told his mom he's going to pass before noon, and he passed before noon.
We just can't figure out what's on the other side.
Right.
Right? What if it's literally just like a Wet and Wild? Like, I'd be okay with that.
The big one in Vegas, is it
Girls
still
Gone
there?
Wild.
No, they got rid of the big one 20 plus years ago.
Oh, I'm a little behind.
Then they opened up a new one, and it was awful. And then it got bought by another company called Cowabunga Bay.
Oh. I was going to take you and CL to it.
Yeah, let's go, bro. Let's make it happen. Yeah, she's in Vegas. CL Thomas is in Vegas. Yeah, I'm gonna do her show next week. I think it's next week or the week after. I don't remember. And then July 9th. And then she's gonna come down and we're gonna hit up the. So I found out that the Coffee Cup Cafe here in Boulder City is haunted. I didn't know that. So we're going to definitely have to check that out. Oh, check that out. You're a Vegas gal too, Erie Expeditions Magazine. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, well, I'm in Boulder City. Say hello. Say hello to me. I know it says my name is Fire McCrackerjack, but really, truly it's Michael Galliano. So find me. I'm very easy to find. You're a sales. Okay, then you already know. Oh, yeah. So we're already getting. So she told me about I didn't know that place was haunted. I know that there's the Hoover Dam Hotel or the Boulder City Hotel that is haunted, and that is really awesome. I'm very excited to see that. Let's see. Oh, Len. Hey, there's Len. What up, Len?
Yeah,
So
we
go
were
ahead and
on
read that.
Lynn's show the other night.
What's that?
So we were on Lynn's show the other night.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and read that, Phil.
Is that Southern Fried?
Yes.
What's that?
Go ahead and read that.
I had an aunt that was getting the house ready for company. She told her daughter that she was tired and was going to lay down for a while. She passed in her sleep, in her bed, was dead for several hours before they checked up on her.
Wow.
Because, I mean, why would you think, right? I mean, you just say, I'm tired, I'm done. You're like, okay, cool. Well, see you in a few. But not really.
That's the best way to go.
I was going to say, it's not a bad place to go in your sleep.
I would
Honestly,
be done.
Or do you wake up? I don't know. I don't know.
Wake up on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't
If you
know,
know
right?
that,
I don't know.
That's the question, and that's why we do what we do.
Yep. And the other thing too is how you die too, because some people when they pass, their bodies are very limp, very soft and sinuous, and some, I mean, they're clenched, right? Like the muscles are so.
Rigor mortis.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's rigor. So,
but I've heard of people that just have instantly entered that stage, like. They die and they've got a grip on something and they can't get the grip. They can't get them to let go because it's locked.
It's like and their muscles just lock up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I mean,
it's really bad when everything unlocks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they start to pull and foam at the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to move them.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Especially
if I have to die like in bed, like if I hope I just know that it's coming, so I can die like the most awkward position. So it's just really hard to move me,
Definitely no underwear.
We've seen it. Trust me, we've seen it.
No underwear for me.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guarantee it.
Like Game Over, man. Where he's, I don't know if you ever saw that movie, but he's tries to hide in a closet because some bad guys broke in and they opened the closet door. So he's got his pants down around his ankle and he's got like a necktie as a noose and he's holding his junk, He's like he had autoerotic asphyxiation,
Yeah, that was that guy that died to Kill Bill.
Oh yes, he did die that way in Thailand. Yeah. Oh my God, I was about to say David Duchovny, but that's not his name.
You're close.
David.
Someone Google that.
Oh man.
The guy played Kill Bill.
Yeah, he also was Kung Fu.
Yeah.
The legend continues. Oh, and he got the original Kung Fu, was written by Bruce Lee. David Carradine, that's it.
David Carradine.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was taught in California. He was taught Tai Chi in California.
Imagine going to the pearly gates and having to explain that one.
Yeah. Well, God, it sounded like a good idea at the time. I don't know what else to tell you. I left for like 2 minutes and somehow you guys are talking about rock asphyxiation.
You never know what you're going to get.
Like a running mule. Nothing wrong with that, Len. Nothing wrong with that. As long as the hooker isn't a rented mule, then you're probably okay.
Ooh, yeah. That's why not a good thing.
Yeah. What had happened was, you see, Your Honor, Your Holiness.
Your Holiness.
It happened kind of like this, okay? Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation.
So what did you think of Bigfoot?
It was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun. You know, I think the truth is still out there.
Yeah.
You know, I think I'm curious. I'm curious to see like more like evidence, like a habitat or food or.
That's what everybody wants to see, though. That
I'm
Like-
curious about these portals that I started
Maybe
hearing about. That's what I'm
Bigfoot sperm or something. Like, I don't know.
And me and Matt, you know, we've never really did that. We never did grays, cryptids, or anything like that. We just sort of stuck with the paranormal. But it's interesting.
Yeah,
I know
all of it.
up north Georgia by Blue Ridge, there's a museum that's up there, the Bigfoot Museum.
Oh
It's
yeah.
pretty cool. There's a bunch of stuff up there, but
Well, you think about where most of the sightings are. That Appalachians are
seeing
they're a
it.
happening spot. In fact, I found out recently that there is a Bigfoot sighting here in Boulder City.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the 90s, they called them the Boulder City Sandman. So he'd live out in the desert, and one of my neighbors got chased in an ATV. They were in a four-wheeler, and they got chased, so they had to fire a shotgun at the thing. They went back.
Really?
Yeah. He says they went back the next day, and they took some pictures. They were old, you know, the old Polaroid style
Yeah.
of footprints that they found, and the footprints they said were just massive. So now I want to, I kind of want to delve a little deeper
Yeah.
into this Boulder City Sandman and see what it's all about. I mean, that was in the 90s, so I mean, is it still around? I mean, some people say Bigfoot's going to live a long time because, you know, they're going back and forth between this plane and another, or
Yeah.
maybe the hair protects them from the sun. Maybe they've got pockets of head and shoulders. I don't know.
6 nipples.
It could be, they could have 6 nipples. We had this conversation.
I heard it. I know.
It's possible. I'm not saying no to that yet until I seen it with me own eyes. You know?
Well, and that's the whole thing when we were filming in Alabama, the Bigfoot, and just if we would have, looking past where we were filming, there was stuff happening back there, and so we were
behind us.
Yeah,
Behind us.
it's true. It's true.
It was right behind it. We just did not get it on film.
Yeah.
That's the problem with filming. You miss so much stuff because
Yeah.
you're focused in on filming.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's true.
Because you're capturing this and you just miss what's happened right out of your view.
Well, holding the camera, you have tunnel vision. You're paying attention to one thing and one thing only.
Mhm.
100%.
Totally not
That's why-
paying attention to your surroundings.
That's why I don't hold a camera very often.
Ugh.
There's a YouTube or a TikTok or whatever of a lady who is walking across the street. She's yelling at somebody, and by the time she turns around, she's walked into the middle of the street and face plants on a moving U-Haul truck.
Ooh.
She doesn't get hurt because she hits like the actual van, like the actual like the
Van body.
the body of the truck. But I mean, it just shows you sometimes
How fast.
you really just do not pay attention sometimes.
Everybody's on this all the time.
all the time. Yeah.
Mhm. I want to take a photo of Bigfoot taking a photo of you.
I agree.
You've told you've seen some in Turner County, Georgia. James says so. Well, folks, Southern Heat Paranormal. How can they find you?
We are on all social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X, Southern Heat Paranormal. Just put that in, we'll come up. I don't know if you posted any links, MaryLynn, or not, but please, if you follow, please like and follow us. Voices of the Past by SHP on YouTube. We post all our videos on there and shorts and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, check us out. We will be in Gettysburg.
25th,
July.
I think is the first. 26th.
Yeah.
26th to the 28th.
Yeah.
I see
Come on down.
Yeah, come on down, and it's a great time, and no pressure. Just people get together and have fun and mingle, and sometimes then we'll go off and do like an impromptu investigation. So it's a cool little town, and fun to be at. But yeah, check us out. If you have any questions, hit us up, DM us. We'll be glad to get you the information, or if you want to know more about us, we can do that. Our link tree, I think, is on our Facebook. So if you go to our Facebook, that'll give you all the links to our socials.
Yeah, and that's,
Okay.
that's running across the bottom of the screen.
Yep, there you go. It's that easy.
Boom.
Don't you have a
All right.
website, Mike?
I'm sorry, our website, yeah, it's our. Matt makes fun of my website, but it's clickbait. It's letsmakeithot.com.
That's great.
Yeah, then you're highly disappointed when you get onto it.
Yes.
Yeah. So like Wish and T-Bird, it's like it looks good, but yeah, maybe not so much.
That's funny.
But yeah, thanks definitely for having us on again, man. We appreciate it. We always appreciate talking to you and MaryLynn and Phil now. And I'm sorry I missed the beginning a little bit. I was having technical issues with my phone for some
All is
reason.
good.
Yeah, it worked out again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good seeing y'all guys.
Yeah.
Let's make paranormal hot again. Amen.
Well, it's going to take a lot
They're gonna,
on our end.
that's where they post their good pictures.
Yeah.
Not their OnlyFans. Is that what it is? Fans
Yeah.
on OnlyFans?
Oh, yeah. So we'll definitely have to get together with you and investigate the jail.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Come down anytime.
That'll happen.
It's great in August.
In October.
Perfect time.
No, but thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, play us out.
See you, everybody.
See ya. Take care.